To this camera, because that's the main audience.
That's right.
We're in the car heading to the barn.
Why are you talking like that?
We're heading to the barn.
Why are
And-
you doing that?
What do you mean? Put your hand over your stomach.
What?
This is the new way of filming.
Okay. There are a lot of people that are just all in the same mindset of wanting equity, pushing for making the Portland area a better place.
Yeah.
I stand on the shoulders of all of those known and unknown freedom fighters who were willing to take a chance to make community for all of us.
And then in the last message you said, here's my number, can I have yours, please? With like 7 E's in it, yeah.
Why are you putting extra on it?
I look, because he tapped the window, and I look, and I'm looking right down the barrel of a gun.
You know, we really appreciate you using your platform to
pleasure.
expose us.
Yeah, my pleasure,
And,
man.
open invite to be as involved or around as much as you can, because I know your time is limited.
Every year prior to the season, Oregon State holds their annual tip-off dinner, and I can't make it more times than not because there's the Blazer season, and before that it was Pac-12 stuff and just other obligations. It's at a busy period of time, but I could be there this year, which is exciting because they just had the greatest success that they've had in my lifetime with Oregon State, making it to the Elite Eight of the NCAA tournament. So we're here to celebrate that night and then also preview the upcoming season. And as I'm there kind of mingling with the crowd, I start meeting some of the players and they come over one by one. And that was the thing that stood out to me as very different right away from previous years where I've either hosted the dinner or had the chance to attend it, is the way that the kids were just seeking information. And it went from one of the players to two, and then all of a sudden there's 6 or 7 of them around. And it was one of the first times where I felt like it was a bigger brother moment for the next generation of Oregon State players, which is what the really successful universities have. That's the kind of thing you try to establish in your program, is guys who have moved on, graduated, that they can come back, talk, spend time with that next group of players. So that was a lot of fun.
Welcome to the 2021 Men's Basketball Tip-Off Dinner. Not 12th. Not 12th. Not 12th. They started the season off, said not 12th, and ended it in a way that I don't know how many of us saw it ending. Wow.
Coach Tinkle and I, we got up on stage. He previewed the players. He showed them one by one. We put them up on the big screen. He explained, here's what their strengths are. And Coach is always so good when he's talking because he's such a personable figure.
But a tough physical guard, 6'3", 6'4", probably 6'4", 6'5", right, guys? Physical defender, athletic finisher, working on his shooting. Oh, it says 6'5" right here. Well,
6'4" without
his
shoes.
mom must have put that up there. He's closer to 6'4". I tell you, they're all special, right? People ask you, who's your favorite kid? You can't really give them an answer. I love how far Roman has come in his time with us.
And he'll go into details, he'll make jokes, just has a really good relationship with everybody. After the video played of the highlights of the team and their run, when he first got up on stage, it was kind of like he was emotional, and he said it. He's like, I get choked up when I see that because they didn't start their season off well.
Gets me teary-eyed. I just, how about that?
At the end of the night, I got a chance to be joined by Jared Lucas, Gianni Hunt, Maurice Kalou, and they gave kind of the crowd an inside look of some of the things that went on last year. Not just the stuff that you can see when you're watching TV, but hey, what were some of the conversations after you guys lost on your home court to the Oregon Ducks? Like, how did you then go to the Pac-12 tournament and get down 16 in the first half to UCLA? What went into some of that stuff? What was it like in the NCAA bubble when you guys were kind of lonely? You're just there by yourselves. Family can't really be a part of things. So they did a great job of going over all of it and giving Beaver Nation a really special night.
I knew a couple of us, we kind of knew our Pac-12 tournament seeding. We knew we were going to be the 5 seed going into that game. And then obviously Oregon winning that game, we knew they were going to be the 1 seed. So we all sat in our locker room and said, we're going to see these guys in the semis. And when we get them, you know, it's going to be that same revenge, right? These guys are celebrating on our court. It doesn't help, being Oregon. But, we knew that we were going to get them again. We got them and beat them. So,
Yes, indeed. At the Pac-12 tourney.
The energy from the attendees was an all-time high. I mean, they were so excited from what this team did last year. And then you look at the newcomers this year, there's a lot of talent. So the expectation is kind of like, can you guys do it again, please? Because we had a lot of fun watching you do it. We want to see it again. So their goal is, of course, to advance as far as they can. But the one thing with this team is they'll be competitive. And they'll be very, very talented. And the people in the room, they can sense that. So they were excited for the night. We're heading to South Meadows Middle School today, where the principal, Justin Welch, is a good friend of mine. I met Justin back in like 2014, 2015 timeframe when he was the principal at Vern McKinney Elementary School, which is a Title I, which I never knew much about what Title I is. So here we are today at the school. It's my first time coming because last year through the pandemic, there were no in-person classes. So I'm just really excited to spend the time with Justin, find out what are some of their goals, initiatives going into the school year, and just how can I be helpful to what he's doing, because I believe in him and what he's trying to implement. I know who he is to his core, and I'm really excited for his students at South Meadows.
Well, first off, it's going well.
Okay.
Kids are coming back.
Okay, good.
We're tired of distance learning.
I bet.
We can really start making connections with them. And the beautiful thing is, since this school's only 7th and 8th graders, most of these kids have never been here before. Yeah. So it's like a fresh start. Like, we have the chance to build something completely new, like a culture and a climate where kids can thrive. And
I didn't think of that.
Yeah. So there's this is how it's been done before. It's like we get a start.
Wow, that's cool. I didn't think of it that way.
They're learning who they want to be, and they're learning, how do I interact with others? How do I overcome difficulty and conflict? How do I learn about different perspectives? And they're really, really formative at this age, and they're a lot of fun. They bring a lot of passion. So we're excited to build on those strengths that they're bringing to the table, and kind of flip the script on middle school being, that's a place where kids like bully each other, it's awful, but to a place where we are a community together. And so
that's neat. Man, I'm excited. I was already excited. Seriously, coming in, like, this, put all this aside, like coming in here, because I know you, and that's why I want you to be a part of this. I want people to like know what you're about. And I never thought about the aspect of the whole new group in. So like you get to set a culture, like that's huge. Like we hear that in sports all the time. A new coach comes in. We're going through it this year with the Blazers. The Blazers have a new coach coming in. That coach is gonna hope to set a new defensive culture. Like you always wish you could start fresh with certain things. In asking Justin, what's the main thing that he wants for these kids? What's the best way that like I could try to help push his mission forward? He says opportunities. He wants the kids to be able to have different opportunities and be exposed to different things, whether that's a field trip at a university or being shown different trades, being involved with different sporting organizations. He just wants them to be able to, have their fair shots at things that they're trying to do and really open their minds to the potential of what life can offer them.
What I'm hoping for is to get as many community partners outside of just the walls of this building, like in on the magic that's happening. That these kids are amazing, and we're excited to see what futures they forge for themselves, and this is the chance we can give them options. They can see like career paths. They can see, wow, here's how I get involved in different industries, whether it be broadcasting, whether it's sports, whether it's tech with Intel, who we're nearby, whether it's agriculture. We have amazing agriculture out here.
Yeah.
Want to start connecting them to paths that they see themselves being able to take. So a lot of school might feel irrelevant at times to kids, and like, why do I even need this? That's what we want to change and see, like, everything you're doing in your class, whether it's social studies or science, is helping you be prepared for a variety of career paths. Maybe they don't want to be a public speaker. That's totally fine, but what are different aspects of what you do that they can see and hear from you on, like, oh, this is important. I may not want to be a broadcaster or a sports person. Again, my goal is to make this a community, and not just when the bells ring, it's done. So often school's been a space where kids are like, it's just a place I've been forced to go. But how did their interests get put into the space? And so we even like tore down all the stuff off our walls, our windows. We tore it down. We're rebuilding our space this year.
Wait. So everything you had last year on the walls is gone?
Yeah. So we're rebuilding our space, and the kids are going to have the opportunity to put themselves in it. Like Riley?
Justin is talking about how he wants to create this environment of togetherness, uplifting one another. You know, he wants to demolish bullying, you know, take that out of the equation, just have this feeling of love throughout all the students. So one thing he's telling me they're doing is they've taken all of the posters that are on the school walls off of the walls, and they're allowing the kids to come into the school year, create their own posters, put those up, and work together and let the school embody what it is that they want it to embody.
So that's if we go out in the halls, you should see lots of clear space, but it's intentional because the teachers are going to spend those first days with the kids just building space together.
That's like, I feel like the way you should look at school. Rent a car, headed to the barn because we are going to a wedding. But this isn't a wedding like any other wedding.
Okay.
I am the officiant.
Yes.
This is how this all came about. Grant Ocampo hit me in a DM the way Bethany did 9 years ago.
Yeah, you
but
DM'd me.
The content was different. So Grant was asking me if I would be willing to marry his fiance and him at that time,
I
Cheyenne.
remember when you told me that.
And the way it came about, they're watching a Blazer game, and he said, as they're watching the game and they're listening, somebody next to him said, "Hey, why don't you get Lamar to do the wedding?" He was like, "Yeah, I guess so. I'll try it." So I get a lot of like random, can you spend 10, 15 minutes with me on a Zoom call, talk about broadcasting, or can you come speak at this school, or things like that. Never gotten a request to marry somebody. So he sent the message, and I remember Grant, I had some prior interactions with him, and he was always just a real nice dude. I always liked him. So as long as it fit in the schedule, I wanted to be able to do that for him. I had met Cheyenne one time at a Blazer 3-on-3 outdoor thing. I met her there. She was really nice stuff. So I was really excited about it. So it's a beautiful day, perfect weather, going out to Hoffman Farms. They both told me when I met with them like a month ago that they want me to like offer up either advice or something from like our experience being married that might be helpful. Is there anything that you think would make sense?
The thing I can think of is our thing of saying complete and don't compete.
Okay.
It was a quote that a pastor that we really like said it was just very simple: complete, don't compete. And we always have said that and like that and made that a part of our marriage. So I think that's really good advice. And they said let you know, or let you say if you have any advice or a message or something, that it'd be fine for you to share it. And I think that's probably one of the biggest ones in our marriage. So I think that's a good one to share.
That'd be good. Okay, all right.
Teammates, all that stuff.
What if I call on you while you're sitting down to like put that?
No.
1, 2, 3, test 1, 2. I want to fill out who's nervous.
I'm nervous. I am nervous.
Why are you nervous? You're not getting married.
Because anytime you're doing something, I get nervous just for you. But I know that you're not nervous, but it's still like, not that I think you're ever going to say the wrong thing, but it's like, this is their wedding day. You can't say the wrong thing. You can't mess up and say, like, what if you said their name wrong or something like that? What if you do that? That makes me nervous. I know you'll handle it fine and you will play it off fine, but to me, that makes me nervous.
I didn't know you were nervous. You never told me that until right now.
Everything about the day was perfect. It seemed like everything went great.
It
Cheyenne looked beautiful. And when
Yes.
she came down the aisle, the way that what did the groomsmen do?
They went, sheesh!
We are gathered here today to celebrate these two special people, Cheyenne and Grant.
When they got engaged, guess who was there?
Who was there?
You already know the answer, so just say the answer.
Jesse McCartney.
Jesse McCartney was at the engagement. Grant planned this with his brother Jensen. It was in Corvallis. And when Jesse McCartney came, Cheyenne's
there
thinking...
for a concert.
There for a concert. And Cheyenne's thinking like, oh, we'll get to meet him, after it's all, after the concert's over, backstage. And so it's like, she's pumped about that. Grant's pumped about it. And then something happens. Jesse creeps in, and then Grant, all of a sudden, he's on his knee.
Okay.
There's details
So
in
she
between.
met him and they got engaged right there.
Yes. So I figured that there's some kind of way we can make Jesse McCartney a part of the wedding. Okay.
Grant in 2019 knew he didn't want another pretty face. He didn't want just anyone to hold. He certainly didn't want his love to go to waste. He wanted Cheyenne and her beautiful soul.
So that's why when it was Jesse McCartney time, I had to hit him with it.
That's right.
I'd throw that in there.
I was so surprised by that. I didn't know you knew any Jesse McCartney music or like lines or anything like that. I didn't know that you knew that. So like when you at the beginning when you're saying this stuff, I was so surprised. You did such a good job.
You think I just wanted another pretty face?
Okay.
Oh, you the type that think I want just anyone to hold. I'll tell you what, you probably would let a minute go to waste.
Oh my gosh.
I want her and her beautiful soul.
You love those around me just as much as I love them.
It was just a fun day, man. They're saying their vows back and forth. And like the whole time I'm thinking, for me, my most important relationship, of course, is you. And I see them getting a chance to celebrate that. And it brought an immense amount of joy to me to see them being able to go through this day.
Aww,
yeah,
good.
That's how I felt.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
In front of everyone here, Grant and Cheyenne have declared their love and have exchanged rings to wear as a sign of their everlasting commitment to each other. By the power vested in me, I now pronounce you husband and wife.
The photographer told me that after I say you can kiss,
To step out.
to get out of the way.
To get out of the
That
way
is
so
the
they can
one
get a
thing
picture.
I thought I was gonna mess
Yeah.
up. So there's
And
actually,
you told me if I'm not moved to.
I tell
that to
people
you.
that all the time.
Yeah.
Anytime I'm doing something, you can yell at me during the event, and I
Okay,
know
but I
something.
wouldn't yet. Hey,
What?
Lamar, move out of the way.
Okay, but check this. If you do that, no, you ain't gotta say all that.
I was in the back row.
Hey, Lamar, you don't have to say that. All you gotta say is move.
You may now kiss the bride.
And there's a picture that I
Yeah.
just saw. Grant sent. I'm looking right in the photographer's camera.
Oh, you are?
Right when I said it, yes. Because I'm looking right
Like,
there,
I'm
like
about
I'm
to
about to
move.
move. I'm
Wait
gone.
a second,
I'm
yeah.
out. I'm out. No, but she was great though.
Yeah,
She was like her
yeah.
pictures. Those are some of the best wedding pictures I've ever seen.
You could tell there was just so much love for Grant and Cheyenne. People like I didn't know anyone there. You were the only person I knew that.
Yeah.
But it just felt everyone like at our table was just very nice. It was just like a love-filled area, and we had a really good time.
Grant and Cheyenne, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Let me look right here. Grant,
so
Cheyenne,
happy for you.
congratulations. Happy for you. Proud of you too. We wish you all the best moving forward.
Yes.
Back at South Meadows Middle School today to celebrate the winners of the poster contest. So over the last few weeks, the school was challenged with coming together, creating a poster, and the winning poster gets a basketball class with me today. So we're gonna have some fun doing that. But I love the poster that Miss Lassen's class created. It's 7th and 8th graders, and it's really showing how much they care about diversity and togetherness. So they're the winners, and we are headed to the gym to have a fun basketball day. But I didn't know it was gonna end the way that it ended. As we're walking through the halls, heading to the gym, like I'm seeing all the kids that I've been able to hang out with over the last few weeks, and they're excited, like they're pumped up to go to class, which is the environment that Principal Welch and the staff at South Meadows wanted to create. They have succeeded. Kids are loving school, they're enjoying it. So we got people hanging over the top, they're yelling, but in a safe way, We got people downstairs walking around, going to the lockers, trying to find the next class. It's always a fun time going in there and seeing the kids and seeing their excitement. And then the kids who didn't get to share in the basketball class today, they were pumped up for their friends who did. So that goes back to that team attitude and environment that the school has created. Once we get in the gym, I line them up, I'm taking them through different basketball drills. I want to give them some drills that I've given to some kids who have become some high-level athletes, but it requires communication, teamwork. You have to work together, otherwise it's not going to work. So, you wrap the ball around, you bounce it a few times, you go between the legs, you pass it back, and then they always love this part where everybody gets in a straight line. You got to be straight, otherwise this isn't going to work. And then you roll the ball from the back to the front, and then you speed down the court, and then you come back and you go till everybody does it. So we had one team that won it all, but Principal Welch was on a different team that lost. So I wanted to create a fun end game as the kids were getting ready to wrap up and head back to class. And so I thought, what would I like if I were in the 7th or 8th grade and we got this person coming to take us through some classes, and we got our principal over here.
I want to see a race-off between Principal Welch, if he's up to it, and whoever you want to put on the line. Whoever wins is going to be the captain of the class when I shout you out in the next Blazer game.
And so once I said go, they were on. It was close early on. It looked like Principal Welch was going at it. He wasn't letting up. You would think like it's a little kid going, like maybe let him win, but Principal Welch, he's competitive. He goes after it. But Alex had the quickness, he had the speed. He raced that ball down the floor, he flew back, and it was done. It was a wrap. And so we had a lot of fun with the day. The kids went back to class. I know they were happy the whole day, and I'm glad that I got to spend the time with them, because I told them this, and I truly mean it. Like, they touched me. I go back home after events with them, and I tell Bethany all the time, like, how fun it is, how good the kids are, and the fact that they care so much about these important life issues means a lot to me. And so I'm glad that South Meadows, they care about it and teach the kids those things, those valuable life lessons. And I'm also glad that the Blazers as an organization are supportive of a lot of the same things I'm supportive of and things I care about, and would allow me to acknowledge Alex and Miss Lassen's 7th grade advisory class for the great work they've done.